with the great work that you're doing in empowering young people and giving them opportunities in the green economy. Siyabonga kakhulu. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Councillor Nkosenhle Madlala. Next up, we have the message of support from the Department of Science and Innovation. This message of support will come from Dr. Mboneni Muofe, Deputy Director General, Socio-Economic Innovation Partnership, Department of Science and Innovation. But before he comes up, let me briefly read his bio. Dr. Mboneni is the Deputy Director General, DDG, for Socio-Economic Innovation Partnership at the Department of Science and Innovation in South Africa. Dr. Muefe led the implementation of various science, technology, and innovation strategies such as the National Space Science Strategy, Bioeconomy, and Hydrogen South Africa. Last but not least, he currently leads the implementation of the circular and digital economy, the new source of growth, aspects of the white paper for science, technology, and innovation. Those of you who love studying, pursuing your PhDs, science, innovation, research, this is your guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's put our hands together for Dr. Mboneni Muofe, DDG, from the Department of Science and Innovation as he comes on stage. Please, let's continue clapping and showing some love and energy for the DDG. Thank you so, so much. Sir, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm expecting much more energy from you, because this is not some old age Indaba, it's Green Youth Indaba. Can I hear you saying morning as well? Good morning? Thanks very much. That sounds more like it. Councillor Madlala, I want to thank you for hosting us. You've been a wonderful host. I've been picking up, before I come here, how things were going, and the feedback I was getting was very exciting. And as a department, we are quite excited to have been able to partner with you to ensure that this event happens. I also would like to ride on your protocols, so I'm not going to be doing all the welcomings and everything. You have welcomed us very well. I think what is really crucial for us as the Department of Science Innovation is that what we're doing in partnering and supporting this initiative is not a random event. It's really something that has been crafted even in our policies and is part of the direction that we have chosen to follow. I think you are quite aware of the challenges, and the bulk of them have been highlighted here by the Councillor in terms of the impact of climate change. The reality is that we are beginning to see unprecedented impact of climate change coming and expressing themselves in various forms, whether you talk about droughts, whether you talk about flooding. While we're dealing with flooding here, we're hearing our neighbors, Zambia, Zimbabwe, declaring disasters in terms of droughts that have meant they couldn't produce food. Earlier this year, I think about some 8 weeks back, I was privileged to have to engage with young graduates and scholars in the African continent who were gathered in Nairobi, Kenya. And as I was being driven to the airport, the gentleman who was driving me said, "We are having a very strange year, because this time of the year it should generally be dry, but it has been wet." And just 2 weeks later, we are aware that there have been some serious flooding, and you have seen massive landslides where settlements and agricultural lands were being devastated completely. Now, why is it important for us to say this in this setting? It is because the aspect of greening is very important. Firstly, in ensuring that we sustain ourselves and our own lives. But secondly, that as we live, we know that there is a whole range of generation that is coming after us that must inherit the kind of planet that we would have wanted to inherit ourselves. Now, we are also looking at opportunities that comes with greening, and as outlined in our circular economy strategy, which we are soon going to be publishing, we look at circular economy and greening not as burden, but as opportunities. And that's why having young people look at this from the entrepreneurship angle is very important. And as a department, we have been supporting various initiatives, including the hosting of SMEs and startup processes where you go and you do your hackathons and everything. And we are also pleased that there are some of the young people who are already leading some very exciting and successful companies at this point in time. Now, the opportunities around greening are everywhere. You look at farming and agriculture, there is opportunities for greening. We look at manufacturing. We look at mining. In fact, just some few weeks back, we have launched as an aspect of the circular economy what we call circular economy in the mining sector. So basically looking at ensuring that as we mine, we also are mindful that we circularize. Now, sometimes you can be talking about these terms and assuming that everybody knows what a circular economy is. And maybe the best way to explain it is to contrast it with the linear economy. In the linear economy, you go and you get whatever you get, and let's say you're mining stuff from the ground, you mine them, you process them, you use them, and after using, you throw them away. And then it becomes somebody else's problem to see what happens with the waste. And in secularization, you basically create a system where you minimize waste, but basically are moving to a no waste situation, where whatever you have used in a particular process becomes an input in the other. And as a result, you continue to secularize. Now, one of the challenges and the temptation when we talk about secularization is sometimes we create more problems as we green. So when you go green and you think you are going green, but you are also creating problems. So we therefore need to also look at how do we actually green the greening process. And this is why, for those of you who are following the storyline around the hydrogen, you realize that we have now color-coded hydrogen. Talking about the so-called gray hydrogen, blue hydrogen, and green hydrogen. And this is to make sure that we don't just sugarcoat what we're doing while the actual impact remains the same. So the gray hydrogen will ultimately be the hydrogen that is coming from the dirty sources like coal and so on and so forth. And when you green it, that means you're starting to improve the processes of processing it in a manner that doesn't create problems to the environment. And the green hydrogen, of course, will probably be one where there has truly been only use of environmental friendly technologies. Now, mention is being made, for example, around the use of solar technologies. But what we are not talking about, and what I think you need to look at as young people thinking about the future, is how do we make sure that as we use solar as a greening technology, we actually don't create problem for the future. Now, here are the questions that sometimes we don't ask. What happens to those solar panels when they are out of service? Gonna throw them again in the dump and life goes on. So we are basically back to square one. that's where I think we need to also look at opportunities that are presenting themselves around the aspect of e-waste. All these phones that we buy and the computers and at some stage and the televisions, and we just have to throw them away because now we've got new LCD screen and we've got this and that, we've got phones that can do that. We are creating another problem in terms of waste. But also in those, there are a lot of opportunities for you as green entrepreneurs to say, what is it that we can get out of these gadgets before we throw them away? Now, the aspect for me, and I think some of the biggest and the richest people that we are going to create from people that are sitting here will be those who are going to find ways to recycle all these things, such as solar panels and other things. What do we do with batteries when they have done their life after 10 or 15 years? So those are the sort of questions. So let us not just be blinded by what we do now to solve the problem, but what is it that we do to make sure that in solving the problem, we don't create the problem, or we don't postpone and hand over the problem to the next generations. So that's really what as we talk about science, innovation, and technology, it's about thinking beyond what we see now, but into the future and providing and coming up with solutions that are going to help us handle that. So as we continue to support this initiative going forward as the Department of Science and Innovation, we are actually looking at that level of innovation that goes beyond today. The level of innovation that begins to think about a future where some of these challenges, where we can't actually stop them, we actually need to slow them. Because this planet that we're living in, as population grows, it doesn't grow, it stays stagnant. And I'm pleased that, again, some few weeks back, we were here in the KwaZulu-Natal area, launching a project with SAPI on the conversion of waste into ethanol, which then can be used in various industrial processes. And these are the sort of thinking that we need to look at so that we don't just think about, oh, I've just created this solution. Why do we continue to make sure that, why do we continue to pollute our rivers? Why do we continue to pollute our environment? And without thinking, we just keep throwing things out. And our inner cities have become dump sites. But we are saying, we are quite hopeful that the young people that we are raising as a generation that is sitting here today, you are going to help us find the solutions through technology and innovation. So thank you very much. I look forward to ongoing engagements. And yes, as a department, we'll continue to support any innovative ideas that are aimed at building and creating opportunities for you and those that are coming after you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mboneni Muofe, Deputy Director General, Socio-Economic Innovation from the Department of Science and Innovation. We really, really appreciated. You kept on repeating was opportunities. Young people, opportunities, opportunities, opportunities. Thinking and creating solutions beyond the now and seeing the green economy not as a burden, but as an opportunity. So young people, we have an opportunity the next day, the next 2 days to interact, to network, to find solutions beyond the now. Before I introduce our next speaker, there's a quote that I came across, and the quote says, "The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity." The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of an opportunity. Amanye ama opportunity only have a certain time. And if you don't take that opportunity, it's gone forever. It will never come back. So you have an opportunity the next 2 days to network, to interact, to come up with solutions for some of the problems that we're facing in the green economy. I see the room is getting full. I think we're going to need more seats at the back. This is what I'm talking about, young people. Those of you who have just joined us at the back, siyabonga kakhulu. I think those are learners. Bona njengamatai, bafasa matai, fake namakepisi. A very warm welcome to all of you at the back. You're at the right place at the right time. This is the 9th annual Green Youth Indaba 2024 Youth Planet Journey to a Green Future. Next up, we've got the keynote address by Tulufelo Nkai. Tulufelo is the head of social transformation within the Public Affairs Communications and Sustainability Department for Africa's largest soft drink bottler. Soft drink, ne? Soft. Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa, CCBSA. Her experience spans over 15 years, held in various fields, including sales, enterprise development, socio-economic development, and transformation. Tulufelo is responsible for the broad-based economic empowerment, heightened on socio-economic development and enterprise development, with a strong focus on waste, youth education, water, and economic inclusion. She's with us. She's looking green. And she'll be giving us the keynote address. Tulufelo, great to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Tulufelo Nkai, Head of Social Transformation, Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. Come on, young people, we can do better. We can do better. Let's get the energy up. Thank you so much, Tulu. Over to you.
Thank you, Program Director, or rather CEO. I think it should be fine, yeah. It should be okay. Thank you so much. DDG Murphy, Dr. Murphy, Councillor Madlala, CEO of Green Youth Indaba, Sanele Zulu, the dynamic youth of eThekwini, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa, I am privileged to stand here today as we celebrate not only the spirit of youth, resilience, and progress. But before I proceed, Program Director, I don't want to end up being a meme. These young people here, they'll end up having me saying, if Loudmouth had a color, me in my green dress, meme. So please keep me honest and please make sure that I don't go over time because I can talk. So as one of, the headline sponsor, we as CCBSA are focused on delivering our purpose, which is refreshing the country and making it a better place for all. So opportunities such as the Green Youth Indaba allows us, a platform for us to engage with diverse stakeholders and also just for us to get some insights so that we can accelerate putting solutions together for a sustainable future. Our approach really is centered around people, and the focus really is about how best do we drive key sustainable goals. And the answer really lies in collaboration and co-creating these solutions with the youth, stakeholders, and so forth. Coca-Cola system, so we part of the Coca-Cola system, we use industry leadership to be part of the solution and achieve a positive change and also drive sustainability. Our growth strategy is grounded on our core values and commitment to sustainability. I'm going to say this word sustainability over and over again because it is the epitome of Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. So our focus, as I said, is around how do we cultivate solutions, working together with like-minded companies, stakeholders, communities, to ensure that we are maximizing on positive impact. So please allow me a bit of time to unpack just only 4 of our focus areas when it comes to sustainability. I'm not going to go on and on because I know you're going to start sleeping. I don't want to do that to you guys. So the first one being our focus on water stewardship. So as Coca-Cola company's 2030 water strategy focuses on increasing water security by investing in water initiatives that benefit nature and communities. Many of our water replenishment projects have additional core benefits, such as helping, improve the soil health, and also just from a carbon footprint as well, and contribute to biodiversity and help mitigate climate change. We are focused on also accelerating the actions needed to increase water security where we operate, so within our plants. And we do this by sourcing sustainable ingredients, touching the people's lives, and providing clean water to our communities. We really have 3 key design goals when it comes to water security, which are: 1, to achieve 100% regenerative water use across our facilities in areas identified as, the high-risk areas. This we want to do by 2030. We also want to improve the health of watersheds identified where we source our water, to ensure that by the time we source that water, we're not taking everything, we're leaving something for the communities. We also want to continue to return water, so that's why we call it water replenishment. We want to return water to the communities and nature, so hence we invest in a lot of water projects. For example, we have, and I'm sure I'm not doing it a bit any justice because my colleague is here, he's the brainchild of this program. We have, deployed off-grid solar-powered groundwater harvesting programs. This is called Cokeville. We have deployed about 42 of these projects. And on average, annually, they produce about, before I get it wrong, they produce about 42, no, I'm pulling a zoomer here, sorry. They produce 420 million liters of water annually. Can you imagine how that is so impactful? Wait, there's more. We also have, as a company, invested 12 million in a program in Galfiniert to ensure that the municipality is able to also give water to that community. And it's a really big program. Do Google it when you do have a chance. The next part I'm going to touch on is our packaging, so our World Without Waste strategy. We seek to drive circular economy through our packaging, right? We know that we put the waste out there, so as the responsible corporate citizen, we need to ensure that we're taking it, we're recycling it, and where we can, reuse it. And we understand that we cannot do it by ourselves, government can't do it by themselves, we all have to work together as communities, as SMMEs, as stakeholders to ensure that we are collecting this waste. So to achieve our World Without Waste strategy, we have just a few goals by 2030. So we want to help collect every bottle and can that we put out there, or the equivalent of it, 100% of that by 2030. It might seem like it's a long time, but it's around the corner. Trust me, now I thought I was 35, now I'm like over 40, so it goes really fast. We also focus on making all our packaging 100% recyclable. This we want to do by 2025, which is next year. And I tell you, we're not doing that bad. We're actually almost there, just a percentage or 2, and we'll get to our, our target. We also want to have 50% of recycled content in our packaging, so in our bottles, by 2030. So if you look at the Bonaqua bottle, you will see that you're able to, it's very lightweight, but you're also able to, once you've finished using it, you can compact it. That has 100% recycled content in it. And moreover, so we are recycling the bottles, and we need your help to do it. Moreover, you also see that in, the Coca-Cola bottles as well, we do have a percentage of recycled content, but we want to get to 50% on the other soft drinks. As I said, we know that plastic waste is an issue in South Africa, or not only South Africa, globally, and we need to work together to ensure that we're all playing our part, right? So our key approach to achieve circularity is setting up extended producer responsibility mechanisms and policies. With EPR model, we, as the producers, we pay a certain fee, and this fee is able to also help the PROs, so the likes of Polyco, who is also a sponsor here, Pedco, MedPac, and so forth. We are able to also help with driving the demand, and collection through EPR. So we urge more producers and brand owners to become part of these PROs to drive the demand and circularity. As Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa, I don't know if you guys know this, but Coca-Cola and other like-minded companies in 2004 actually set up the industry-funded Pedco. So the Pedco that you see now was actually started by Coca-Cola and other companies in 2004. So we've been doing EPR for quite some time, not when just, the regulations were passed. So I think that deserves a round of applause, guys. Thank you. I like people clapping, it makes me feel good. And we also, as a business, continue to invest in SMMEs. I know there's a lot of SMMEs in the green economy sitting here. So we invest in SMMEs through transport subsidies, through infrastructure support, and access to markets. So when you see the guys wearing the uniform, please do go to them and harass them and ask for more information. The next bit, I told you I'm gonna only unpack 4, so please bear with me. Climate change. Our approach to climate change is rooted in science, and the Coca-Cola Company has set science-based targets to reduce absolute green gas emissions by 25% in 2030 against the baseline of 2015. So we're going really back in time. Our water and packaging and climate change goals are actually interconnected. So we don't do one thing that doesn't talk to the other thing, because we want to make sure that everything we do is driving our message, is driving, our values, which is making sure that everything we do is sustainable. And these, for example, right, we spoke about circular economy earlier on. So making sure that we have recycled content is actually helping us reduce our carbon footprint. Making sure that we have, ways of doing things within our water and how we source water just reduce our footprint. The third one I'm going to unpack now is the collaboration and co-creation. So we know that in South Africa, everybody's been talking about opportunities. DDG spoke about opportunities. CEO was talking about opportunities. So we know that South Africa is a country of immense opportunities. To some, it might not seem like that, but it is. Notwithstanding, obviously, the triple threat of poverty, inequality, and unemployment, right? So we continue to, these 3 triple threats continue to pose a threat to our nation's success. So we need to make sure that these opportunities, we seize them and leverage them to ensure that we are bettering our country. Remember what I said earlier on Coca-Cola, our purpose is to refresh Africa and make it a better place for all. So as Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa, we believe in driving economic inclusion, and we look at predominantly two pillars when we do economic inclusion. And these are employability and entrepreneurship. And education, we don't just leave it, we use it as an enabler because we do need to invest in education. We recognize that there's no single entity that can do all this by themselves. Therefore, again, co-creating, collaborating with our communities, and not just coming up with programs that we shove down their throats, we co-create with everyone and our stakeholders. Keep that in mind. So when it comes to SMMEs, as I said earlier on, we invest in a lot from a green economy perspective. We invest in a lot of buyback centers. So SMMEs within waste go to the people on the ground, harass them, because we do a lot of work around SMME development. We do that in partnership with industry, and we do that in partnership with government. I want to also just say to you, how many of you guys recycle at home? The young people over there. Ooh. So recycling is a good thing to do, right? Separate your waste, recycle. Even if you're not doing it for yourself, you're actually empowering somebody who will collect it, because trash is cash. It will drive the economy. We need to ensure that we are doing your little bit to drive the economy. It's very simple. Separate your waste, give it to somebody, and it's empowering them. Lastly, for Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa, people matter and our planet matters. We believe in doing business the right way by following our values and working towards a solution that benefits us and that contributes and enhanced quality of life, communities, for our stakeholders, employees, customers, partners, and our shareholders. So before I conclude, I did say I like speaking, so please, I don't want to be a meme assembly. Before I conclude, how many of you guys have heard of the red car theory? Thank you. So if I ask you guys, how many of you guys spotted red cars as you were coming here? Will you be able to answer me? No. But if I tell you that for every red car that you have seen, I will give you 2,000 rand, will you start spotting them? Exactly. That's opportunity. When you are aware of your opportunities, seize them. As you sit here for the next 2 days, it's an opportunity to seize something. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but at a later stage, because you've made those networks, seize that opportunity. As we celebrate 30 years of democracy, I know some of you were not born then. I'm old. 30 years of democracy, and Youth Month, obviously. We are reminded of the challenges we face, the opportunities that await us, as well as the power you, the youth, possess to effect positive change. I challenge each and every one of you to dream boldly, think innovatively, and act courageously. Whether you aspire to be leaders, to be artists, to be entrepreneurs as you sit here, to be professionals, please know that your contribution does matter. And as I conclude, I want to leave you guys with these words. Popcorn kernels don't all pop at the same time. Wait your turn, be consistent in what you do, and your turn to pop will come. I thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Tulufe Lomkai, head of social transformation at Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. Please can we put our hands together one more time for Tulu, aus Tulu. Aus Tulu, I have a red pen. Does that count? It's the law of attraction. That which you think about the most, you will soon attract. I love what you said around the fact that trash is cash. I'll never forget that. Trash is cash. Continue with the great work that you're doing in empowering young people and giving them opportunities. You spoke about economic inclusivity, collaborations, etc. We see your work, we love it, and we appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coca-Cola Beverages. All right, moving right along. I am going to introduce Sanele Zulu, just to share a word. He's the convener. Sanele is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Green Youth Network. As he comes on stage, he's a visionary, a big dreamer. Please let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Sanele Zulu. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, young people. Let's put our hands together. He said that the more you clap for him, the more money he will give away. So let's... Over to you, my brother.
Sanbonani. Ninjani. Sanbonani Tewini. Ninjani. When I say ayaya, you say easy, Tiger. Ayaya. You guys are doing better. Let me hear this side. Ayaya. You guys are weak. Let me hear. Ayaya. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sanele, his name is Zulu. Let's give a round of applause for our program director, Sbusiso Mulimi. I think he's doing a very good job. I think for me, it's very short. One, to appreciate you guys for coming today here, the delegates. I think I was talking today at Metro FM and I was just sharing a story of how we founded the Green Youth Network. The Green Youth Network basically was founded on the basis of exposing opportunities that exist within the green economy. And what I can tell you guys is that I remember watching a documentary that said the green economy is a multi-billion-dollar industry. For me, it was very important to say if we are young people and we want to tap into opportunities, we must do research. And then I did some further research and I found out that there was lack of education, lack of awareness campaigns, lack of training programs. In fact, I had failed in about 7 businesses in the waste sector, in the green space. And I remember that the one time or the one thing I realized was that I needed a mentor. And based on that, we realized as well that we must formulate some form of partnerships to ensure that if you're an SMME, you get some form of awareness, you get some training and development, and you get exposed to funding and support. Having said that, I just want to appreciate some of our partners, key partners today. The CCPSA that has supported us. Let's give them a round of applause. There's Mercita, there's FoodPev, there's Department of Science and Innovation that has played a critical role. Let me, by the way, explain, guys, what has happened, especially to the SMMEs. How many of you are SMMEs here? Small businesses, okay. You want to start a business someday. One of the things that we've learned as the Green Youth Network is that there's money out there that is meant to support SMMEs and businesses. The biggest problem is that SMMEs are not fund ready. There's a quote that I believe in that says, it is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. A friend of mine got funding from ITC. He says they basically declined his proposal or his business plan 5 times. And every time they declined his business plan, he went back to ask ITC, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Not many of us has got that drive to sit to it, to say we go back to find out if you did not get accepted. Yesterday we had something called the Green Innovators Pitch. You know, some people didn't make it there. I saw someone leaving disappointed. You know, I'm thinking, no, but it's not about the disappointment of not making it to the top 5. How many of you were pitching yesterday? Pitchers. Hey, God, it's the top 5 only here. Because then some get disappointed. But I know a guy as well who's in the top 5 this year, but he got disappointed last year. Where is he? Where is your leadership? So people don't think I'm selling dreams here. So last year, he got declined. He didn't make it to the top 5. Guess what? he came back again this year. He might even win this year, we don't know. Right? We don't know. All I'm saying is that the drive and the passion towards sustainability also need to have a drive from us as small businesses, as academia, to make sure that really we are seen. So for example, there's a couple of programs that we're introducing even with TIA to ensure that basically there's further support for SMMEs to continue. Today we've got Competition Commission that's going to be here. We've got Energy and Water CETA. You know, there's a lot of partners, guys, that are going to be here. Here's what I'm going to ask you, one thing, and I always say this. If anything that you remember me for this thing, to say, the more you know is the more you know that you don't know. The more you know is the more you know that you don't know. The moment you think you know it all is the moment you lose it all. Enjoy the conference. Thank you so much. Sbu, where is Sbu? Sbu, there's a young man, he wanted to give away his book. Can I act like a, no, come. Can I act like a dictator just for a few minutes? Please, where is Bongan? Bongan, where is Bongan? Bongan, come through. Please give a round of applause for Bongan. I know that I didn't mention all our partners, guys, but please keep your ears and eyes open. They are here. There's Poliko, there's the CEO of Poliko watching us live. She's in Amsterdam. She told me now that Sanele, tell my young people there that Poliko is here to support. Please go to their stand. She was supposed to be here, by the way. But I want, this young man, his name is Bongani. He wants to give away his book, but I want to give him just 2 minutes. Can I dictate? Sorry. Sure.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bongane Putswane, a young man all the way from Pietermaritzburg, a young man who was brought up in a disadvantaged community, a young man that could not read and write, a young man that people said he'll amount to nothing, a young man that was brought up by his mom and dad, a young man who was addicted to petrol, benzene, and glue, a young man who in the community people called me different names and said, Bongane, you will never accomplish anything in Empilweni. A young man that comes from a difficult background, but today stands in with Green Youth Indaba and speaks and articulates and share where he comes from. I want to say to somebody today listening to me that you are born looking like your mommy and daddy, but you're going to die looking like your decisions. I want to say to you that in order for you to succeed in life, you gotta surround yourself with people who have achieved greater things. There's impartation in association. Stop hanging around with losers, you'll become a loser. When you start hanging around with eagles, you're gonna soar up in the sky. Stop hanging with chickens because you're gonna keep on making quack quack. Just like Toyota, let's go to places and make a difference. Just like Adidas, impossible is nothing. That business that you are starting, it might be difficult. It might be going through a season of a storm. In order for you to be great, you got to go through a process. I always say to people, the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Stop cheating the process. Everything that you want in life has a process. Just like Nike. Just do it. Do it in rainy days. Do it when people don't like you. Do it when people decline you. Because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. Get up in the winter day and say, I'm chasing after my dream. Whether I get the funding or don't get the funding, but I'm going to keep on rising. Just like Absa. Chase after your dream. Today, be like FNB. Go to people and say to them, how can I help you today? Because your dream is so powerful that people will start looking for you. By the way, the same Bongane that you are looking at today, I'm an author of 2 books. People are looking for Bongane Putswane. Be like Nedbank. Make things happen. Stop having the mentality of cheating, guys. Let's produce excellence. When people meet you, they must say, yo, your company produces excellence. Let's stop selling cheap stuff. I want to close. 2 minutes is up. Just like Jaguar, you are born to perform. Let's go out there, make a difference,
change people's lives. And I have a privilege of being mentored by Sanele Zulu. I've been to over 150 schools in South Africa. I travel internationally. I've never thought in my life I'll be writing a speech on a plane, traveling to a place, and I'm writing my speech. Because I never saw myself going on TV, being on newspapers. But today, my life, I always say this: your past is a place of reference, not a place of resident. May you have an awesome time. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Okay, I'm selling myself. My name is Bongane Putwane. On social media, Instagram, you can type Bongane. My surname is Putsoane. You can contact me, take my number. I'm available 24 hours. I'm easy like that. 083-993-4046. My books go for 250. If you'd like to get a copy, come through, see me. I'll be just there at the back. Buy my book. I'll appreciate it. The best is yet to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time for Ubongani. Siyabonga, siyabonga mfo. All right, let's move right along. We are going to have a dialogue focusing on advancing sustainable waste solutions that benefit both the environment and society through producer responsibility organization and stakeholders. Producer responsibility organization, those are PROs. We have the moderator, Yamkele. Yamkele, please come on stage. And Yamkele will be joined on stage by Edith Luta, CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Fibrous Circle, Dr. Emmanuel Sakado, Project Manager, Inkwazi Isu, and Francois from EPR Specialist. Well, he's an EPR Specialist at Palco. Please, can you join him on stage if I've called up your name? As they come on stage, please let's put our hands together for our panel that will be moderated by Yamkele. Come on, young people, let's get the energy up. Let's welcome our panelists on stage and show them some love as we learn from these specialists. Once again, if you are sharing some love on social media, remember we are giving away prizes and money. I can't disclose how much it is, but it's a lot of money. Hashtag GYI 2024, the 9th Annual Green Youth Indaba. Gentlemen, Yamkele, over to you, sir.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Or should I say, good morning, SMEs. Good morning, entrepreneurs. Good morning, startups. A much better one, good morning, innovators of the green economy. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th Annual Green Youth Indaba 2024 first panel discussion. Today, we're going to embark on a journey where we turn waste into businesses, transforming not only the waste, but transforming the communities and the industries that we operate in. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my fellow panelists, and I'm going to allow them to just introduce themselves, introduce their organizations, what they do, so that we can get the All right, so I'm going to allow them to introduce their organizations, what they do, and how they assist entrepreneurs.
Ninjani. My name is Dr. Emmanuel Sakado. I'm the director of the South African Healthcare Foundation and also the project director of Inkwazi Isu, which is an integrated waste management program in eThekwini municipality. Our program actually is an embodiment of everything that everyone here represents. And we work with a lot of youth, waste pickers, small businesses, startups, in a very consolidated manner where we are able to look at weaknesses and strengths of individuals and are able to mentor them to become great in the green economy. So I can't wait to share our experience with you. Thank you.
And very exciting to see the youth getting so involved in this very important part of looking after our global environment situation. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get the show kick-started. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our topic for today has been said that we are advancing sustainable waste solutions that benefit the environment and the society which we live in through the PROs, which are the producer responsibility organizations and stakeholders. So now that you've introduced yourselves, I want to really unpack the PRO's roles in helping small businesses within the waste industry. I think maybe to start off, can you please explain the concept of PROs and their role in sustainable waste management? I'll start with you.
Thank you so much. So the producer responsibility organizations that Francois and I represent, we represent producers who put material onto South Africa's market, whether this material is imported or produced locally. We are responsible for all post-consumer waste, and it's our responsibility to collect, reuse, repurpose, or put back into our process. So from a paper and paper packaging point of view, I think if you have a buyback center here or you collect, how many of you collect K4, HL1, and fiber-based materials? I see a hand there and I see a hand there. Okay. So K4 and fiber-based packaging remains the backbone of the recycling industry. Sorry, Francois. Because everything comes in a box. Whether you are buying a new cell phone or whether you are going to your favorite shopping store to go buy your shoes, it's going to come in a box. And the technology around us being able to recycle our boxes and our fiber-based material has improved over the years. Previously, we used to say that paper can be recycled at least 7 times, and now it's doubled. In fact, more than doubled. It's about 25 times now. What this means for us is that we can bring in more opportunity for collections of our material. While we have great recycling rates from paper-based packaging, we certainly are not getting to all the paper that we have in our environment. We need more baling opportunities of our paper because we don't want it to be transported loose. That means that we need organizations, young people who have the energy and who want to expand their businesses and collect more of our packaging. We support SMMEs that want to scale and grow their businesses, but we also have some paper and paper packaging that is not recyclable. And I'll touch a bit more about that later on, which gives us an opportunity to look at things such as beneficiating that paper that is not able to go back into our mill processes.
Thank you so much. You touched on technology. Mr. Francois, please just give us, some information on how technology innovation is being used by PROs and in enhancing the waste management.
Thank you. Yeah, just to Edith, I worked for many years, as you know, in the paper industry, so I always have a soft spot for it. But nevertheless, plastics is my game at the moment, and it is a very challenging one. So technology is important. Unfortunately, I think a big role that Polyco played for the last 11, 12 years, also as a voluntary PRO, similar to Petco, as the lady from Coca-Cola has mentioned, that created innovation for recycling for certain streams in terms of the members at the time that were voluntary involved on a voluntary basis. Provided money and innovation went along. There were, however, and there are, however, other streams out there that are more difficult to collect and more difficult to recycle. And some of them are really challenging. They're there for a purpose because they protect food mostly, and we can't have more food losses as well. So there's always this balance that we have to think about. So research and development is a big one in terms of those type of products where you find huge challenges. And innovation that will lead to solutions or interventions in terms of looking after those products responsibly. So you asked what a PRO does. So that's exactly what a PRO does. A PRO will combine knowledge and expertise on behalf of its members, and through its members, help and assist and facilitate in finding these solutions.
Great, thank you very much. Guys, remember #GYI and follow on the socials so that we get the conversation going. We really don't have much time, so I don't know if the social media guys have got any questions online, but let me just get to Dr. Emmanuel. Let's get to policy and regulations. How have policies and regulations influenced the effectiveness of PROs in advancing sustainability waste solutions?
Actually, that's a very good one. I will start with a top-up on Francois' comment. So as in Kwazi-Isu, which is a ground-based program that we run, one of the things I've seen from the PROs in support of innovation and technology is that the PROs really understand that the waste game is full of cherry picking, where waste pickers who go out there, they are not very concerned about the environment. They're really looking at the monetary value of what they're picking. So with innovation and technology, similar to what we've set up here through the support of PROs and the likes of CCBSA, we've set up a beneficiation center where we actually research how we can actually add value to difficult to recycle plastics. Sasol, being a partner with us, is setting up a pyrolysis plant that would take dirty or contaminated material that cannot be recycled, and it will go through that and become waxes, which they feed back into their product range. Being in the space of running projects on the ground for about 10 years, we realized that there wasn't a lot of interest in some of the funding groups in coming on board with our programs. As soon as the EPR regulation was passed, every organization, whether you want to or not, is obligated to be compliant. So as soon as that happens, we see that all PROs and all stakeholders now have a very clear vision of what they want to do on the ground. So I believe legislation and these regulations have actually caused a very good positive shift in the right direction.
Great, thank you.
If I could just come in and just add and say that regulation is great and it's important, but its enforcement is even more important.
Yeah.
Because we may find that we write very good laws and then we are unable to enforce their compliance. Just as we have excellent regulations around our landfills, However, the majority of our landfills are non-compliant. And we know that compliance plays an important role, especially in the green economy, because as I often say, if it's still cheaper to landfill, then it means that it's going to be even more difficult for us to promote the circular economy. So we need to draw a line in the sand when it comes to regulation and policy and state that in order for recycling and the circular economy to stand a chance, we need to ensure that the compliance of our regulations are really adhered to and there is enforcement.
Correct, correct.
Definitely.
100%. I'm not too sure if my lapel is still on. All right, we really don't have much time. We're literally under 2 minutes, but I just want to have, please, in the meantime, if you've got questions, just start writing them down because I'll probably take about 2 or 3 questions so that we can get the engagements with the audience happening. The idea of having the PROs here is to really also unpack the opportunities that are there for small businesses. So just in literally 1 minute each, 1 minute each, just what are the opportunities that are out there for young entrepreneurs that are within the green space? Now, also please touch on technology because one of the things that I've noticed in the previous session that I was moderating is we don't really emphasize the technology needed for these entrepreneurs to thrive in the green economy. And technology for me, we're in a digital age, that's very crucial. So what are the opportunities that are there? What are the vehicles that are used to help trade entrepreneurs to come up with more innovative ideas within the green space sector? We literally are wrapping up, so just...
If I will go first. So I think what Mr. Zulu said was a very important thing is that he started 7 businesses, if I remember correctly. Very difficult to get them to a sustainable situation until he realized he needed a mentor. And I think even over and above technology, because technology won't make your business successful. You need to learn and understand the current business that you're in, and this environment business is something you must know exactly what the pitfalls are, etc. And the PROs, from Polico's point of view, we do a lot of mentorship. We provide a lot of opportunities for SMMEs and enterprise development and that. And we have our stand here, so people are very welcome to come and chat to us and to see what opportunities they have that we could perhaps look at.
Let's move to Prof. Opportunities for young people.
I also think that there is a lot of opportunities with the PROs, especially with funding for things like mobile buyback centers, which is the packaging model by Polico. Also, Coca-Cola does give a bit of funding through some of the PROs, and I think it's usually the lack of information. So I would urge everyone to get to know their PROs and to visit their websites to see which opportunities are available for them.
All right.
Do the brilliant basics right. Do the numbers, do the stakeholder relationships right. Get your taxes in order for those of you that are there. I think that's some of the things that happen I was once a young entrepreneur myself, and I didn't do the brilliant basics right. My colleagues are here. We are available for you to come and ask us questions. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. You touched on, information being disseminated. What awareness programs, just literally in a second, what awareness programs are you initiating as PROs to make sure that young people have got access to you? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, each panelist here, they've got a stand outside. Make sure you visit. This is just a high-level discussion. Visit the stands. You're going to get more information. These are the organizations that are your big brother in the industry. There's a lot that's happening within the space. So in order for you to work effectively, efficiently, equip yourself with skills, with resources, engage with them because they will then help mentor you, help introduce into the industry. So yeah, the awareness element, awareness education.
Yeah, there is a lot of education and awareness, and platforms like this is one of them. We also capitalize on the environmental calendar days such as World Cleanup Day, World Ocean Day, and all of that. We partner with all PROs, and currently we're going to partner with MedPac, which was the last PRO we hadn't partnered with, and we're able to share all their information at these events. So if you're in the KZN region, I would entreat you to look up in Kwazisu and look at all our upcoming events. There's almost an event every month. At these events, we do a lot of education and awareness. We do have material from all the PROs, and we're able to help you to identify where the opportunities are. Thank you.
All right, let me take two hands. Program Director Umang Shai. I just want to take two hands. If the roaming mic is available, just two hands, three hands, and then we wrap it up. Questions, so that we know that you were listening and you heard exactly, what was presented on stage. 2, 3 hands. Young entrepreneurs in the space. So we don't, yes sir. Where's that roaming mic? Can I have someone quickly, please? Because we've ran out of time. Or you can use my mic. Okay, so you got 1, you got 2. Where are the ladies? Ladies in the space? We got 1 there, 2 there. Second one is there. Let me have a lady, perfect. Yeah, thank you. She's right at the back, very far. My brother, listen, introduce yourself, who you are, what's the name of your organization, and then shoot to the question.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noelo. I am currently a student in public relations, and I am also a founder of Indaba, which is an NPO, which is doing more on agriculture, skill development, and children's rights. And the question is that how can I able to make sure that in terms of agriculture I develop more? Because I come from rural areas where there is a land, a river. I saw opportunities over there where I can use unemployment people in order to farm. This will also benefit from children from rural areas. Thank you.
I'm not sure if you followed
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that was quite, I also didn't follow that question properly.
but I can answer it.
You want to help us? Can you? My brother, you must attend the pitch workshop. You must learn how to shoot. Come on.
Initially, my NPO will build so much on agriculture.
All right, okay, all right. So what you've got an agricultural project that you want to implement. What can you do to implement that agricultural programs? Okay, I think I can maybe answer that. The PROs themselves have got skills development programs within their organizations. So I think the best thing to do is go to their stand and get to know what programs they have, and then you can ask the question, can they put you in that program? All right, let's get, yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andy Lemgade. I'm owner of Badland. It's an educational technology platform. I'm basically new towards being interested in the green economy, and I'm also wanting to delve more and get more information. But usually, with someone like myself, whenever you have less information and you want to get into a sector, you usually get into a sector that is to a section in the sector that is overcrowded. Can you guys please inform us about green opportunities that you've seen that most people are not tapping into, or probably are more afraid of, that are just there, but people are just more focused on the side because that's what's popular, that's what's being talked about.
All right.
Okay, I can answer that question. You said you were in education technology. Okay, I don't know when the last time you saw an ad that related to education that talked about keeping the environment clean. We don't have anything around animation as well that speaks to young people Gamification is very important, and we don't have those opportunities in our field yet. So there's quite a lot of opportunity from an education point of view, if that's the game that you are in from a green and circular economy point of view. We certainly need more information out there that appeals to young people. You know, when I was growing up, we used to see Lahlela Kazibi every day on TV. I haven't seen an ad in recent times that talks about keeping our environment clean and what happens beyond the bin. So there is lots of opportunity, especially from an education point of view, my brother.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please give our panelists a thunder round of applause for the session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francois.
All right,
Thanks,
Mr.
Vincent.
Program
Doing well.
Director, thank you so much, sir, for working with us on the stage. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Please, one more time, a round of applause for our panel. That's our panel talking on advancing sustainable waste solutions that benefit both the environment and society through producer responsibility organizations. We're going to have another dialogue of young people who had a passion. You know, the young man spoke about starting an NGO, the opportunities, agriculture, how does he grow. We're going to have young people who had a passion, but they've turned that passion into a profit. As they're getting ready, what I would like you to do is for you right now to, or two, with the person on your, because some of you are sitting next to people that you don't know. And these are people who have got the money. But we're here to network, so just introduce yourself to the person on your left and on your right. Who are you? What do you do? And what have you learned so far? For the next minute or two. Come on, let's network. Let's get to know each other. We're here to know each other. We're here to network. We're here to learn. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Zaziso, uban wena, buyapi. What do you do? Let's network, young people. Introduce yourself. Once you're done with the person on your left, go to the person on your right. Exchange contact details. Who are you? What do you do? Let's network. Let's engage, young people. Let's network. Hashtag GYI, the 9th annual Green Youth Indaba Youth Planner Journey to a Greener Future. All right, we'll have an opportunity again when we go for tea. I encourage you, young people, you're here, you're at a conference. Leave the person that you came with. Umtshele ukuthi mfethu ngizokubona man. Ngizokubona after lunch. After lunch sokhuluma. Ngize nawe ekseni sigibele sonke manje usafuna ukukhuluma nami. Oh, awume. I want to go and meet new people. So we'll get to network during the lunch session and the tea session. If your number plate, one last announcement, please listen. Thank you. If your number plate is BG60NNZN, it's a white Audi, please can you move it? It is blocking the way. BG60, it's good? Okay, they've moved it. All right, let's move right along to the Green Youth Connect panel. From passion to profit, I'll be moderating this session. Please can we put our hands together for these young entrepreneurs in the green economy. Luvo Gukwana, founder of Green Arc Innovation. Luvo, please come on stage, my brother. Usiabonga, founder of Eminent Cocoon, and Dr. Nogutula Mavela, founder of Media Group. Dr. Nogutula? She's busy getting mic'd up. All right, she will join us as we continue with. All right, please, let's put our hands together for, oh, I don't know if that was intentional, but when ngoba uwe sokushayela izandla.